Last Thursday's Cowboys Report had 187 new subscribers, the most in the past week. Thank you all who have joined. I would like nothing more than to beat that mark today. So if you have not yet subbed to the Cowboys Report, please do so. Free videos every single day, oftentimes multiple times per day, right here on the Dallas Cowboys. Tom Downey here for the Cowboys Report by Chat Sports, taking a look at the latest on the Cowboys, some news and some rumors, beginning with an update, so to speak, on Dak Prescott. Dallas Morning News says there have still been no talks between Dak and the Cowboys. The Cowboys continue to claim and leak and say that we're going to get it done. Stephen Jones' new line is, we're going to wake up one day and it's done, which would be a pretty stark change from the historical outcomes of this particular quarterback and, frankly, this organization when it comes to long-term deals. Calvin Watkins reports the majority of people in the Cowboys universe tell you quarterback Dak Prescott will get a contract extension. It's a matter of if. It's not a matter of if, but when and for how much. Look, at this point, we know who Dak Prescott is. He's a top 10 quarterback, wherever you want to rank him, and maybe that's even 11 if you have other guys you like in that same top 10 franchise quarterback range. We know that he needs the help that every quarterback needs, except for maybe Mahomes, but he's your outlier there. And we know that quarterbacks are super expensive. That's how the market works. I mean, you've got guys like Russell Wilson, who may or may not be cooked. Kyler Murray, Deshaun Watson, neither of whom have done anything to the level of Dak Prescott so far in their NFL careers. They haven't. Now, Daniel Jones is getting Dak Prescott money, which is kind of crazy to think about there. And there's also this part, too. The market's only going to go up. All four of these guys legitimately could approach the $50 million per year price tag or surpass it. The sooner you get the deal done with Dak, the better. Either do it or don't. You know what you have in Dak. We know that when he's on, the offense is a top 3 offense at minimum. Frankly, we should be, I think, a bit happier that despite some inconsistencies, the offense for Dak the past couple of years when he's healthy has averaged 30 points a game. That's rather unheard of production there. And if you do the smart thing, keep pushing money off in the future, you can actually surround him the way that you need to. So, look, I think the downside of, we're going to go with this guy, Andy Dalton, it's not going very well. But I know people are upset with the lack of playoff success, despite it actually being pretty on par with everybody else in the NFL. But it's 28 years of futility that gets lumped into one guy's shoulders, and that's part of what comes with being the Cowboys quarterback. I think Dak gets it. I get it, too. So do you want to extend him? I think we know who he is. Y for yes, N for no. It's the pinned comment on today's show. So if the ad break comes here on YouTube, take advantage of it. Head down there. Let me know. Y for yes, N for no. Safe space to agree or disagree in the comment section. Now, Fansided has put together some trade candidates to move during the draft, and they got things off with an interesting one in Malik Hooker. Now, the Cowboys would save $3.47 million. Not that they need money. They have $13 million in salary cap space, plus the Zeke Elliott money to come, so they're actually okay there. Their argument was, you pay Donovan Wilson, maybe that makes Hooker expendable. I don't think I agree with that, though. Malik Hooker has not been the player I thought he was going to be coming out of Ohio State. I thought this was the best safety and still is one of the highest graded safeties out of, I think, Mika Fitzpatrick / Derwin James that I've seen. He was awesome. He's been a little inconsistent as a playmaker. I think he's comfortably safety 3 on this roster, and that's more to do with how much I love Jaron Kearse and Donovan Wilson. But it creates a hole. Who's your free safety? I think Israel Mukuamu is better as a box player or just your nickel corner if you want to move Deron Bland outside. Marquise Bell's not a deep safety. I don't think Tyler Coyle is either. So if you draft a safety, maybe it makes some more sense, but I'm actually going to keep Malik Hooker, barring a better option plan in terms of replacing him. Are you tired of struggling with bad habits? Cold turkey might be great for sandwiches, but there's a better way to break free from those pesky habits, and it doesn't involve any weird mind voodoo or other bizarre tactics. Introducing our sponsor, Fume. An innovative award-nominated device helps you kick bad habits to the curb by focusing on the good parts. You can scan the QR code on screen to learn more, but Fume is all about embracing the natural. It's not electronic, and instead of vapor, Fume uses flavored air. Best of all, it's free of harmful chemicals and packed with delicious, all-natural flavors. The adjustable airflow dial and movable parts and magnets make it perfect for fidgeting, which can help alleviate stress and anxiety while you break your habit. I wasn't sure what to expect at first, but I was pleasantly surprised with the taste, feel, and look of Fume. Breaking a bad habit can be tough, but with Fume, it's easy, enjoyable, and even fun. With over 100,000 customers and countless success stories, there's no reason you can't be next. Start your journey towards a healthier lifestyle with the Journey Pack from Fume. Visit tryfume.com/chatsports and use code chatsports for 10% off when you get the Journey Pack today. That's tryfum.com/chatsports. Use code chatsports for 10% off your order. The link's in the comment section, the description, or just scan the big old QR code right there to unlock this offer. Next up on the Fansided trade candidate list is Jalen Tolbert, who I think some of you might be a bit more on board with, because we can be honest here. Tolbert was a colossal disappointment in year one. The Cowboys will tell you they put too much on his plate, which I suppose is true. And look, there are times that coming from, maybe we got too excited about the South Alabama to NFL jump. That's a pretty significant one there. Tolbert's most memorable play was lining up offside, which is just like, that's grade school stuff. That like it just, I think maybe it was too much at once for him, because that mistake should never ever happen. I don't think though that the Cowboys are already out on Jalen Tolbert. It is that would be unusual. The Fanside had mentioned trading Ryan Switzer after a year. That was a 4th round pick. This was a 3rd round pick at a position of need. Now, in the event that the Cowboys, spend a 1st round pick on a receiver, which I don't think they do, but they've shown at least some interest in that level of player, maybe things start to sound a little bit differently, but I would be cautious saying dumping Tolbert already. I give him 1 more year, and that would potentially reduce your trade value, but it's already lower, so I'm okay with that balance there. What would you do? Would you trade Jalen Tolbert? Would you keep him? T for trade, K for keep. I know the answer to that last question for this one here. It's Kelvin Joseph, a.k.a. Boss Man Fat. Yeah, he should be on your trade list. Here's the issue. We've now seen 2 years of Kelvin Joseph. It's been bad. Penalties galore, mistakes. The Cowboys were desperate for a cornerback, too. They were signing guys off the street, and your 2nd-round pick couldn't get on the football field. That is a very big problem for the Dallas Cowboys. We'll go more in depth on Kelvin Joseph here, but of the 3, if you had to pick one to trade, assuming the returns are different for, they're realistic there, who would it be? MH for Malik Hooker, JT for Jalen Tolbert, or KJ for Kelvin Joseph? It's funny. The numbers don't even look that bad, and we did see some flashes out of Kelvin Joseph in year 1, and then year 2, again, you lose all your corners, and it's like, well, we're bad now. And he couldn't get on the field. It's a huge concern, and I think there's some confidence issues. There's trust issues from the front office, the coaching staff. I think if they could get a draft pick, they wouldn't be mind. They wouldn't especially if they take one this year. You have Trayvon Diggs, Stephon Gilmore, Deron Bland, Jordan Lewis, Israel Mukuamu. It's 5 guys I'm playing comfortably over Kelvin Joseph, plus Nashawn Wright. He's not a roster lock right now. The problem is, who wants him? When everybody knows, the Cowboys were trying out, washed-up Xavier Rhodes and Trayvon Mullen at corner, and not Kelvin Joseph, that's not good. That means I would be shocked if anyone was like, yes, we will trade for Kelvin Joseph. I don't think you can get a pick back for him right now. I think the value is that low at this point. Now, we have a daily Cowboys coverage for you here. The NFL draft is exactly, actually, well, give or take some hours, I guess, depending on when you're watching. 3 weeks away. We'll be live for the draft. We'll have the best coverage for you. So make sure you are subscribed at youtube.com/@CowboysTV. I want to spend a brief time here on Cam Newton since, it's a big name. People ask about it there. Dallas was not on the sudden preferred backup list for Cam Newton, which I do have some thoughts on this and why it's broken down as it is. First three names, Deshaun Watson, Lamar Jackson, Justin Fields. Watson a little bit less so, but mobile quarterbacks, and I think we can put in Tua here too, mobile quarterbacks and or players who have missed time in recent years. Malik Willis, which was funny because he's not the starter in Tennessee. It's Ryan Tannehill. And Sam Howell, who I think are on the list because Cam Newton thinks he's better than those two players. Three rookies, Stroud, Young, Richardson. Maybe it's the I'll start, then they can take over mindset. Then three bigger names. Jalen Hurts also fits the mobile quarterback category. Aaron Rodgers, wherever that is. Josh Allen. I think those are some scheme fits / I can rehab my stock a little bit. Mahomes is not on there, which is interesting. Others did not make lists like a Joe Burrow too. In the end, I'm okay not being on the list. I don't need Cam Newton. Cam Newton does not benefit this Cowboys team right now. Cooper Rush is better than Cam Newton right now, which is a kind of a weird thing to say from where we were just a couple years ago. But in general, you typically want your backup quarterback to either be the great athlete, which I think Cam can still be, or be the safe play. But what teams genuinely don't like is that celebrity backup quarterback. You've seen it with multiple different guys throughout the course of their NFL career. When the big end starter kind of fades away, well, they don't always end up as a backup quarterback because it ends up being a bit of a distraction. I don't think it's a good thing that your quarterback is announcing where he'll go play as a backup QB. That's what the agent is kind of for there. So I'm fine not adding Cam Newton. It would be a different conversation if Cooper Rush did not resign, but in Dallas, just don't need him.